All right, grasshoppers. It is Monday morning. The 5 universes are colliding to make this show happen. A little late. That's my fault. I got stuck on a phone call and I didn't know the power of the great Mark Puttenvig, the master of the universe.
Increases every day a little bit. It's exponential. As the universe expands, I get more responsibility.
That's right, too. Look at you. That, you know what? I first looked at that and I go, that fits, too. Like you are the master of the universe.
Just rolls off the tongue.
It does, master. That's what Beth says to you, too, right? Like you're the master of the universe. Except not in this house.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told her one time. Just so you know, I'm king of the house. She said, all right, good. Now, king, take the garbage out.
Yeah, exactly. Do what you're told.
Yeah.
Oh, king of the house.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Good. So Saturday, my son Sean and I, he played at Montclair State University here in New Jersey, and they had a retirement dinner for Robbie Martinez and Frank Barone. Two of the best guys I ever met. I had so much fun coaching with those guys. So they had like a retirement kind of party for them.
Cool.
They're not going to coach anymore.
Right.
And so it was good to see all of those guys that Sean played with because they're all like 31, 32 now.
That's amazing. He said,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This one kid that I coached, Max Como, I've talked about him before. He was the one that put the finger in his glove, put it up on a stick, so the referee came by. Funny kid, but he's now went through the Army. I think he's in the Army for like 4 years. He's living in Colorado now, and he posted a picture of him and his wife, the 2 kids, at a baseball game and everything. I'm thinking, that's that same kid.
It's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny? Same with you're same with your sons, my sons too. Growing up.
I tell you, last week I put up a little something. We had a Warrior thing, and so I didn't know, but there was a guy at the rink who was there with his kid, I guess, and started taking pictures of it. He posted on Facebook. He goes, my Pee Wee coach or Bantam coach still at it. And then I realized he's 47.
Oh, yeah.
He's 47.
Yeah, I know. Man, I remember I got divorced. My boys were 4 and 6 years old. Now they're 32 and 30. Yeah.
That's same as mine. Same age. Well, pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Wow. Yeah. Isn't it unbelievable how fast it goes?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to really slow the whole expansion of the universe down.
Yeah. Okay, so this is going to sound crazy, but I feel sometimes like, where does the time go? Like it feels like every week flies by.
I know.
The days,
and it get faster and faster.
Yeah, it's just some conspiracy or something. I kind of this just can't be working like this.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? The logical explanation to it is, and I heard this a while back. It makes sense. So let's say you're 7 years old.
Right.
You've only had 7 years to measure time.
Right.
And so the older you get, like so when you're 7. Being 8 is pretty far away, right?
Right.
But when you're our age, the next year is like next week.
Yeah. Okay. That's true too. Yeah. Very good way of putting it. Ira wants to know, Ira Matthews here. When is the Layla themed dating advice show?
Oh, there you go.
Dating advice.
We should have the dating game.
Oh,
so we should do. We should get 1 female contestant, 3 idiots, and do it right on your pen. There you go.
That's what we should do. We do a dating show. That's right.
Well, I'll throw in a few bucks. We'll send them to the bowling alley. Like if they win, they get like beer and a pizza or something.
You imagine me giving out dating advice? Oh,
yeah. No, you gotta be the MC. Like what was the guy's name? I forget now.
Oh, I know. What was his name too? Yeah, yeah. That was a funny show.
It's a great show. There was a lot of really Schwarzenegger was on it. A lot of actors and also a serial killer.
Yeah. Was it a serial killer?
And he was an active serial killer when he did the show. Ray. What's his name? It's like a Spanish name from California. He was an active serial killer.
I didn't know that.
Wow. And he won.
Oh.
And he won. So that was.
And then they found out years later that he was a serial killer.
Yeah. And can you imagine? Like, so what do you do? Well, this and that.
Oh, that's
Why is all this rope in your car? That's my job.
That's the axe for. Oh goodness! So great event on Saturday. I was at down in Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
In the city,
yeah,
fun event. They had so they bring in a bunch of kids, the Knicks and the Rangers, and they put them through some paces, ball hockey, and in the gym playing basketball. So it's cool. Good. You know what I like about those events too? It's when they say, you do this all the time, and the kids have never done that before, like the hockey, for example, and they're nervous and you don't want to do it. Some are shy. Then once they get in there, they realize, wow, this is great, and they're having a ball.
Oh, they're amazing. And what comes out of their mouth. We were doing one down here, learning skating. The kid was like, sit up against the wall, and we were doing a little, cross-ice game. Right. So, hey, because they got their name on, I forget his name. I said, what's going on, man? I think I broke my butt. That's what he told me. Well, there is a crack in it, but I don't think that's.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. And then tomorrow I'll be in West Haverstraw, New York, to elementary school again. They had that. So again, that great program over there. This Gary Dorkowitz does a fantastic job. He's coaches the Nyack High School.
Mhm.
I think it's Nyack High School,
Yeah.
but he gets involved in. So he gets this program together. The Rangers and the NHL get ice over at Sportorama over in Muncie, New York. Excuse me. And then they have the kids. Same thing. Kids get out there that have never skated before, so it's the same kind of. They're all nervous.
Right.
And they've done.
So you're going to be up at Sportorama tomorrow?
No, so then we after we do the skating portion, we then go to their school another day, and they have a town hall meeting. So they have all the grades come in. I think tomorrow's third grade or whatever. So during this town hall meeting, the teachers and vice principal put that on, but we also participate, kind of show how how to stay safe. They have to wear the proper equipment on the ice, and they incorporate that into the town hall meeting. So it's a great program. Again, same kind of thing where the kids have never skated before, most cases. And they're really nervous, and
Sure.
they're really excited when the next day or whenever we go to the school, they're really excited that they've done it. And it's a great learning lesson. So West
Sportorama is like literally my backyard.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, that's where we skated when we were kids. But so going back when Joe Pacino was interim GM, he ran a little mini camp in the summer there.
It's Sportorama.
Yeah, so it was Stephen Rice, he was a first round pick. Rice was out there, Troy Millette, a couple guys. But
cool.
So he got a hold of some of the local coaches and said, "Hey, can you backfill a bench?" So they only had 10 guys. So made some calls. I had a kid, Kenny Blum, who played at Lake Superior State, pretty good player, and he made the mistake of scoring goals out there. And I'm sitting up top and I'm watching him skate by the bench. I don't know. Remember? Do you know Steve Chelios?
Yeah.
He was out there, and the kid Blum skating by him, and Chelios just leans over, and spears him, like, slow down.
Oh,
like, we're trying to get jobs here. All right.
That's cool. Excuse me. So Ron Jameson's here's a good question coming up that time of the year, August 19th, correct?
Yes, August 19th. In fact, you and I were just briefly talking about this past Friday. We had a team leader meeting to run through the day, kind of thing. So we started off at Liberty State Park at the Empty Sky Memorial, and then we went across the river. So anyhow, we had all the team leaders. Bill Brown is the head of this whole thing, and this year it's with the Navy SEAL Foundation. That's the cooperating charity, so to speak.
Cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
It's going to be a huge event again.
I'll tell you, if anybody has a chance, you go to Liberty State Park at the start of it, or you can go to Lower Manhattan near the site of 9/11. Just a really patriotic event, right? It's just fantastic to be at it.
And Ron, if you come down, I'll take care of you. You come down.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Jeff, you come down, we'll take care of you down here. Because you're a veteran, so we'll figure out a way to.
That's right.
To take care of you.
Yeah, they don't have to swim, right? They can still be there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could observe it or whatever. I mean, we do need help. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
That's right. That's cool. That's a fun time. I never forget the first, now I know what it's like, but the first time I went there, I didn't expect it to be as patriotic as it was. You see real Navy SEALs there. And it's the funniest. Well, I don't know if you call it funny. So when they're, especially in Lower Manhattan, so they swim across there and all these guys are all jacked up and they've got just the little shorts on and they get the flag over the shoulder and they're marching down the street and bagpipes are playing. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're ready to go through a wall.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's fun.
So we had a good day. The weather was beautiful. So it was nice. Nice to be out in the water a little bit on Friday, and so it's going to be a great event. And it's August.
And the pictures I saw, though, I was a little disappointed. You had a shirt on.
Yeah, well, there was a couple young ladies there, and I
didn't want to show off.
I wanted them to be able to focus on their job at hand.
Right. That's the kind of thoughtful man that you are.
I think things through, Tom. I really.
You're the master of the universe.
I was going to say that's exactly why I'm the master.
Yeah. Oh, so very proud of Ira here. Ira, I was told by his doctor he had to lose weight and get himself in shape, and he's really working on it. Update on no carbs.
Stuff,
wait.
There we go. And I again, we'll go over this many times, but
I didn't see the other part. Better erections.
Yeah. Well, that's better blood flow.
Ira, God, Ira, come on.
Well, you've seen the famous meme where, the cup was invented way before the helmet. So we're more concerned with,
Yeah. That's men. Yeah, definitely. Where did the word meme come from? Is that
it's got to be an abbreviation for something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Meme. But that was never a word before, right?
No. There's a lot of new words in our lexicon that are just from technology and everything like that. Yeah. You would think being master of the universe I would know, but that's slip by.
You can't know everything, though.
No.
I mean, you know pretty much everything, but you can't. Your weekend otherwise was good. You and Beth doing any activities together or just relaxing?
Well, Beth went for her run, and Saturday I had that event, and then for the coaches, And then Sunday's my day where I train. I do some volunteer training for a couple young men who are. I'm just trying to get them on the right path. So to speak.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, I forgot two
Great.
events. So I had two events this Saturday. So we did the one event that was down in Chinatown. Then we were at Madison Square Garden where they had called Paint the Ice. So they get season ticket holders in there and they paint the ice. I'd never been to that before. And me being my smart ass self, I said to everybody, I said, my name is Tom Laidlaw. And I want you to write on the ice, Tom Laidlaw is the greatest. And I was telling everybody to do this, and I didn't think they'd do it, but of course they did. So
You should have put that. They retired the wrong number 2.
yes. Oh, I mentioned that a few times. Yes, I use that line over and over. Yeah, definitely. It was a great event for the kids. Like it's not, they don't skate. They just go there in the shoes. They get little slippers for them kind of things. And then they paint whatever they want. I never thought about it though. Like what if somebody writes something like kind of crude? Like probably what we've done when we were younger.
Always run that risk. Do you know there was I don't know, it was quite a while ago, but the Islanders ran at the end of the game, if you came on ice with a Santa Claus costume, the best one won some kind of prize. I don't know what, season tickets or something.
Right.
I think it was like up to 50 people went on ice when they took off. They went on ice with the Santa Claus stuff. Once they were on ice, they took the Santa Claus costume off and had Ranger jerseys on underneath.
Oh, is that right?
It was
That's funny.
total,
That's funny. Oh,
right? It's classic.
Nice, huh?
So you got to watch.
Yeah,
But,
kids are good.
yeah.
And Ron, to your point here, yes, there's a little bit of this. They said Tom who? Yeah, I had to make sure. I definitely have to make sure I announce myself. Oh, you know what? They want to talk. I went to the school, West Haverstraw. I was over there last week, and the teachers, all they wanted to talk to me was talking about my being on Survivor. They could care less about me playing hockey. So.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, you're the only person I've ever met that was on Survivor.
Yeah, I guess I don't think about that all the time.
I know a lot of NHL players, but you're the only guy that was on Survivor right now.
Yeah. So all the female teachers are coming up and like they can care less about hockey. They just, you're on Survivor? Yes,
I'm here.
Yeah.
Made it.
And then we're at the event in Chinatown later on the day on Saturday. And one little boy, I guess they thought there was going to be some other players there. It says, are there other players coming?
Yes, any real hockey players coming?
Exactly. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Same thing though. They just want to talk about Survivor. They care less about hockey. Great event though. Really, they let the kids have fun. They got about 4 coaches out there, just young guys hired by the Rangers. And
yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah, like really is.
Working with the kids is amazing.
Yeah.
We had our Vet Fest last week, right? Yeah. And we had a little shooting station up, and a lot of little kids came by that never had a hockey stick in their hands. And, the shoot. What we did was because Jersey was playing Carolina, we put a Carolina Ted. You know Ted, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I swear he came out of the car, this truck, where he had this like Carolina Target, right?
Right.
So where the hell did you get that? He goes, well, he downloaded the photo off the internet. He printed it, laminated.
That's funny.
But anyway, so if they hit Carolina Target, they won a prize or something.
That's cool. So that's right. Carolina and Florida in the East final, and Vegas and
TV ratings.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Vegas. Who's the other team?
There's Dallas and Seattle on game.
Yeah, Dallas and Seattle are still going at it. That's right. That's right.
That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, game 7.
I kind of feel how crazy. Well, what does that say about there's obviously parity now because now this sort of the Seattle has a chance of going to the Cup final. Right? Yeah. How many years are they in the league now? 2.
Is this the second or third? I can't remember. It might be third, I think. Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's good, and that's the key to the NFL success. Right. Any team can win any year.
Yeah, but that is the thing. The ratings, like, there's no Toronto
Carolina,
team, no New York. I know. Yeah. No Canadian city.
No.
Carolina and Florida.
Poor buddy up there, Jeff Fletcher in Toronto.
Yeah.
You talk about the memes because he's a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and it's just it's been tough on him.
You wonder what's going to happen there, right? So you get Kyle Dubas, the general manager, and Sheldon Keefe is the coach. They can't. I mean, especially Kyle Dubas. Like, I just don't think he knows what he's doing. He
doesn't appear.
Apparently,
he got into it with a fan.
Oh, did he? Kyle Dubas?
Oh, yeah, with a fan from Florida.
Really?
He's by the box and he's chirping at the guy. I'm like, dude, that guy, he's a fan. You don't get into it with a fan. No matter if he's whatever, you just don't. Yeah. You slide across.
I mean, if something physical happens, you can defend yourself.
Different. But you got to defend yourself, but you don't do that. So that just shows you he's stressed. He knows he's on the block.
Oh yeah.
And the coach, I mean, they say good things about him, but I don't care.
But based on what though? It happens sometimes, right? Where the media jumps on that and keeps saying great things. Not that he's bad. It's just he's not getting any results. But
I think
has anyone ever come? Yeah. Has anyone ever come to you, Tom, looking for you to hook them for an autograph? No. Absolutely. So we have. Oh, on the ice. On the ice. The Garden would paint the ice on Saturday. This guy was coming up. He was way too excited to meet me. I knew he thought I was somebody else. And he's got his picture taken like 3 times, and then he says to his girlfriend, he says, "Can you take a picture of Mark and I?" He thought it was Mark Messier.
Oh,
I said, "But who do you
should
think
have
I
went
am?"
along with it.
Yeah, I know. I said, "Who do you think I am?" And he says, "Well, Mark Messier." I'm like, nah, sorry about him. Tom Laidlaw. I had to tell him who I was, and so yeah, we get a lot of things. So Brian Mullen, Adam Graves, and myself all get confused all the time. Like, and I know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, because they it's the bald heads,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
so I know when somebody's like way too excited to meet me, they think I'm Adam Graves. We go to a lot of events where the dad will be, have his little boy there with him, and he point over at me. I know he's thinking of Adam Graves. I can just tell by the reaction. And then Adam,
a name tag that flips.
yeah, that's true. And then Adam will. That's a great idea. That's funny. Then Adam will come into the event, and then they look over at me and go, "Oh God, it's just Laidlaw." It's like they're all disappointed.
Well, I tell you, what Johnny Mac said, because he was right winger for Gretzky's last game ever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah.
That's he could tell you grandkids like, hey, his last game, his last shift, I was his right winger. And then Johnny Mac looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, Gretzky was probably thinking this is what it's come down to." Johnny's got a pretty dry sense of humor.
That is the thing when you play with Gretzky. Like early on, like the first few games, you're kind of like,
right?
yeah, is he?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, does he want me on the ice with him? Like,
Right.
there was one time too where Terry Waters and I played together all the time, and I can't remember what the situation was. And Robert Vittoric just loved Tim and Tom, played us all the time.
Yeah.
And he threw us out there, and Wayne was out there. Wayne looked at us. He didn't meet. Wayne was a great guy, but he kind of rolled his eyes like, "Oh God, like these two guys." Timmy and I were dying laughing at each other because we knew Wayne was a good guy. He didn't really mean something bad, but we knew who we were too. We were realistic.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not Paul Coffey. He's not Gary Curry.
Everybody has a job, and so
yeah. But it is funny. You do overreact. At least some people do. I did it a little bit to get Wayne the puck all the time. Like he's supposed to have it all the time. And he even got laughed about it sometimes too. Guys, I don't have to have the puck the whole time. You can pass to somebody else. But even like when I started playing, like that was my 8th or 9th year in the league. And you still, as much as I played against him all that time, when you first played with him, it's still pretty interesting, the reaction.
Sure. Yeah, it's gotta be crazy.
Yeah.
Play with somebody. Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's a generational. I mean, when you talk about the best players, Gordie Howe, Gretzky, Bobby Orton, pretty much stops there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Mario Lemieux and all those guys, but those are the 3.
Yeah. Totally.
Then you got Lemieux, Mess, and all. But
yeah.
They're iconic.
Sure. So of course, my first day of training camp, I had to try to get. I sewed the bottom of his pants together, so I went to put his pants on, and he actually thought it was pretty good. And most guys were like, "Laidlaw, what are you doing? You don't do it to Wayne." I said, "Yeah, you do. You got to treat him like everybody else." So he comes up on the ice and he was dying laughing. He liked it. I said, "Did I get you?" He said, 11 years PRO. He goes.
I saw the video you did with the hair dryer in LA.
Isn't it funny looking back at that? The phone on the wall there, like
right. Everybody uses hair dryers now.
I know.
Phones
So everybody hasn't seen it. It's called Practical Jokes. I think that's what it's called. So we had this producer. Our games were our prime ticket. And this Bob Morgan was the producer for our games, and he knew I was doing all these jokes all the time. So he made up this video where I like me in the silhouette, like kind of like I'm admitting my guilt kind of thing, that I've got this problem with myself when I'm doing all these practical jokes. Luke Robitaille is very good. He got the one with the hairdryer in it, and he did it full on. Yeah.
We were up Montreal. Across the rink is their weight room, and they let us use it, right?
Oh.
After the morning skate. So I was in there with a couple guys doing our thing. But the banana phones was what we had. Remember the Nokia?
Yeah.
And I think Motorola or Nokia was a sponsor or whatever, Tiny Canadians, and they had this huge phone, right? And it was like cardboard. It was an advertisement. It was right outside that when you came out of the training room. And somebody, I don't know how they got up there, but where it says with the name of the person incoming, they put the name of my girlfriend at the time because they got sick of me being on the phone talking to her. I guess I don't know, but yeah. So.
Ira Matthews here. I was trying to be funny today. It's somewhat funny. The ladder toss, yeah. Ladder toss, Olympic Committee. It wasn't that funny. So it's warm out now, so now the dogs are back out again. So Pepper's having
the dog poop
day. Yes, dog poop. At least no dogs at the beach. See, I bumped my head again.
What'd you do?
That was bad. That was bad this time. Where is it? Over there? No.
How'd you get it? I see it. Yeah. Looks like a
Yeah,
pretty
it's at the
good
gym. You know, I'm at the gym. I'm thinking I'm Joe Cool. You know, I'm walking around, and one of the pull down bars was just ran right into it. Yeah, because you're getting really cocky. Hey, I'm all by myself, Mr. Joe Cool. Bam.
But what you do when you hit it, you got to spin and start dancing,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Meant to be.
There's a fantastic video on the Reels. I think it was on Instagram. This little boy looked like he's 5 or 6 years old, riding his bike. He went down pretty hard too. He jumped up right away, started dancing. Oh, yeah? It was a classic video. It's like he had a big hair, big afro hair.
Did I sent you that interview with DJ Shipley when he was in SEALs, Dead Brew they call it.
Yes, yeah.
Where they were doing hard landings.
Yeah.
He basically drove his hip up. Well, it snapped his hip socket.
Ooh. And
they thought he had a pulled hamstring. So I sent you or hip flexor. I sent you the video.
Yeah.
And so turned out, after they finally diagnosed what exactly it was, he had, I think, 3 or 4 5.5-inch titanium screws put in his hip, right?
Wow.
So the last test he had to take to get medically cleared to go back to SEAL Team 6 was step down from pretty high, probably 52-inch plyometric box.
Right.
And when he landed, he said, it's pretty painful, right?
Oh.
And then whoever the medical examiner says, how's it feel? 100%.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that true? I think most men are like that too. When you fall down, the first thing you want to do is look around and make sure nobody saw you fall down.
Exactly. Or when you fall, Sean George, who's a very successful fighter professionally, and he's a trainer now. In fact, his guy just won a big fight, won a heavyweight title over in Zhilei Zhang, one of the Chinese fighters we had. But anyway, first time I took him skating, we were out there, and he was all right. He was getting around a little bit, but when he fell, he would go start doing push-ups. Like it was part of the whole, the whole routine.
That's classic.
And he pulled it off. It was pretty slick.
Oh. Yeah. I went down. I was out in the parking lot probably 3 years ago during the middle of winter, and some nice older lady was out there too. She said, "Tom, now be afraid of the ice. Be careful of the ice here. It's really slippery." Of course, I'm like, "No, I don't fall down. I'm Tom. Yeah, I'm Tom Laidlaw. I don't fall down." Well, I stepped on the ice and I went face first. I was going face first, and I got my elbow underneath, jammed my elbow up, and I did something to my tricep, and my elbow just blew up. It's all blue and everything like that. But the first thing I'm looking around is I'm like, get up.
I'm fine.
Yeah, there's nobody around here.
Just want to joking around for you.
Yeah. Barry Shelley, you magical creature.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with Barry?
Oh, she's back from mowing the lawn. Okay, it's that time of year. Yes, right.
Yeah. He's got a big property too, so he's got a lot of lawn to mow.
Yeah. What? Oh, so we made for dinner. I made something I had not made before. I stuffed some portobello mushrooms. Oh, with stuffing and cheese and peppers and good. And I did some seared tuna. Love seared tuna. Oh,
that's great,
man. Is that? Yeah. Do you make it keep it really rare in the middle?
Not really rare, but I certainly don't overcook it. I don't.
Yeah, because it turns the cardboard pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all vitality.
The other is it swordfish like that too? Or what's the other fish that's like that?
I'm not big on it. Beth loves swordfish, but I like more like cod.
Yeah, me too. Cod, salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice salmon.
Halibut is good.
Yep. Yeah. Just for the halibut.
Yeah. But I got my chicken today. It was like I went into the store, Tom. I just got done working out. Yeah. And they had my little roasters in there, and it was like Christmas.
Are they already pre-cooked?
No, but my Dutch oven. But they didn't have any of the organic little 5-pound roasters. They've been out and had them in there this morning. So it was like Christmas Day, so I grabbed a couple sets of what we're gonna have tonight. Do
you ever get the Costco rotisserie chicken? They say it's bad for you, right?
Yeah, probably not the best. It's probably not organic, and like anything that's been sitting there spinning.
Right. I think they pump it full of all kinds of stuff to make it juicier and
they could.
Salts.
Yeah, they may put actually sugar in there or something like that as well. But this is so easy, man. You just cut up carrots, onions, season it, plop the whole thing, the chicken in there, put the lid on, hour, and it's done. You don't have to do anything.
Cool. Yeah. Tom, one of your old teammates told me that you're known for breaking hockey sticks over your head. Hope you were wearing him. No helmet. So we have not heard this story yet. Oh, okay. And I don't like to repeat stories, but here we go. So working at camp, I think it was between my sophomore and junior year, I was working at camp up at Northern Michigan University, and the young boy cracked his stick, obviously wooden stick back then. So I took it like smart, put it over my head, no helmet, took it over my head and snapped it. So they said, well, you can't do that with every stick that's not broken. So of course I have to grab the real. Yeah. So I did it. So at the end of the week, we have a scrimmage. The parents come in, take pictures and all that kinds of stuff. So all the kids were the parents like that guy broke his big sticks over his head. You can do it. So they wanted me to take pictures, breaking sticks over my head. So I did it a few more times at the end of the week. They said, well, you'll never do it in the game. And I said, okay, I'll do it. First time I score a goal. Because I scored 1 goal my first year, 1 goal my second year. So I say, okay, the first time I score a goal. So thinking, well, I'm not going to score many goals anyways. So I'll do it next season, score a goal. So we're one of our early games, and the coach doesn't know this is going on. And so I told all the guys, listen, if I score a goal, I'm breaking stick over my head. So I scored a goal, go flying by our bench, rip my helmet off, stand there staring at the other goalie and break my stick. And I hold the two like this, thinking, like roaring at the goaltender. The referee pulled me aside after the game. He says, I should have given you a 10-minute misconduct, but I just could not believe you were doing that. So
I couldn't stop laughing.
I didn't know what to do. And of course, I'd already been drafted by the Rangers. So that got in the papers back here in New York. They loved it. That they're
this was at Western Michigan you did?
Northern Michigan.
Or
Yes.
Northern Michigan, rather.
Yeah. So I was still there. So they loved it because Freddie Shear was coaching, and they thought I was the toughest guy on the planet. And
yeah, that's like when they drafted what was his name? Darren Kimball.
Yeah.
He was a pretty big kid, wasn't he? Western.
Yep. Yeah.
I think Shear said big and dumb, just like we like him.
I didn't know that one. That's good. Yeah, that was the thing back then with hockey players. Even when I got in the agent business, if you saw like a really intelligent kid, it's like, oh,
he
God,
can't
he's
play.
too smart. Yeah. Isn't it funny now? Because like these kids now, I think that's a good trait
Now
to
the
have.
psychological test is like,
Be well-rounded.
To get into the CIA.
Yeah. Be that well-rounded person. Yeah. You ever tried Thai food? I have, not that often, but I have had it. You?
Yeah, I've tied a few on.
Yeah. Huh.
Tied a few on.
Tied a few on. I missed that one at first. You had to repeat it. I apologize. Steve Baker told me. Steve Baker. So he originated. That's how my father became Chief Laidlaw.
Seaweed? Was his nickname Seaweed or something like that?
No, that was Seaweed Petty. Jim Seaweed Petty.
Jim Petty.
Yeah, played New Haven.
Yeah.
So that's Steve Baker is the reason my father would nickname Chief. I called him Chief from the time about 25 years old. Whenever he passed away, it was like 11 or 12 years ago. So everybody, they'd bring the parents in, bring the father into the practice ring. And we'd all this is Don Laidlaw, introduce him with his first name. Well, Steve Baker's father was a doctor. So rightfully so, he introduced him as Dr. Baker. But us mudheads think this is a big deal. They call him Dr. Baker. Oh, I'm Dr. Baker, So every time father came in after that, he was introduced as his profession and then Laidlaw. So my father was Chief Laidlaw. So I called him Chief Laidlaw all the time. Steve, it was funny when Steve, I think it was Mike Rogers, his father made cardboard coffins. So he was known as cardboard coffin maker Rogers.
Okay.
That's so like us idiots, like we just goofballs and so that's
I was like Digger. I played softball in a men's league years ago, softball league, and the guy's name was Digger. I'm like, what kind of name is that? Oh, he's a mortician. I'm like, I ain't playing with that guy.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Trade me now.
That's funny. That's a funny one. Why would anybody choose? I'm not this. We have to have it, but why does somebody choose to be a mortician? Yeah.
I had a friend that did it. And he was like a couple of years old, man. He was, I think he was native. He had this long black hair, and he went off to Florida. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. And this is like one of those Japanese horror films. The doorbell rings. I'm still living at home. I open up the front door. We lived, it's pretty rural, so it's dark outside. And just enough light that I see this figure standing there with this long hair. And he said, "Hello, my friend." I'm like, "Wow, Jesus, you here? Kind of young."
That's funny. Yeah. That's funny. So,
oh, by the way,
nicknames.
Robbie was down here. I didn't get a chance to. Robbie Ftork was in Jersey last week.
Oh,
for one of the playoff games. Yeah.
Oh, well, great man,
Robbie
Ftork. He lost his daughter a few years back, right?
Mm-hmm. Something. Yeah.
What was Duke's nickname? Just Dukes. Trying to think of some of the good nicknames. Rexy, Ray Salainen, Steve Richmond was a general. I don't know why he was a general.
How about Frank Beaton's?
Frank never been beaten? Was that?
And then it became often, and then became seldom beaten. Then it became often. Then it was
always beaten.
Yeah. You gotta
Eddie Hospodar was boxcar. That's right. Barry Shelley, right?
Yeah.
Barry Beck was Bubba.
Siggy
for Eddie Johnstone from smoking the cigarettes. James Patrick was Jeep. Greshner was Gresh. Espo. Yep. What was Steve Vickers? Sarge. He was Sarge.
Yeah,
that's right.
What did they call Roger Bill? Did Rick have a nickname? Chiller or not?
I think it was. I didn't know him as well. I don't think that guy's. Yeah, Roddy. Stemmer for Pete Stemkowski. What else? Who else? Eddie Mio was Potato. Although that was one he did not like at all. He called Potato Head. So of course,
I was probably about the same time that my buddies were calling me Lucy.
Who?
They're calling me Lucy. I'm like,
Lucy.
They said I look, and I don't think I did, but they claimed I look like what's the kid's name? Debois.
Oh,
Lucien Debois.
Lucy. Oh,
He must have had a fat head because I can't remember what he looked like.
he did. Yeah, kind of a round head. Yeah, going on there. And that's what Nick Fuccio was pie face. Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Pie McKenzie.
Johnny Pie McKenzie. That's right. Who else did we have? Derek Sanderson was Turk.
Turk.
Yeah. I don't know how he got Turk. We did a podcast with, oh, that's awful. Who's the right shot forward that traded from the Rangers to Boston back in the late 70s?
Rick Middleton?
Yes, Rick Middleton.
Oh, man. The worst trade the Rangers ever made in history.
He told us his nickname. He went into a strip joint, I guess, or was at a bar. I can't remember, a strip joint or a bar. And he was talking to what he thought was a woman, ended up being a guy. Oh. And what was the name? So everybody called him that name, the name of the, I guess it was a stripper. Yeah. We made him tell a story. He opened up about it at first. He said, I can't tell a story. I said, oh yeah, you got to tell us. He's pretty funny about it.
What kind of guy was he? Kind of private guy or?
A quieter guy, but very like a really good man, like you could tell a good teammate. Yeah, he's one of those guys too that you played against him all the time. He beats you like the puck would be bouncing. He beats you, and he goes, "Oh, he got lucky that time, right?" Then he does it about 100 more times, and you're like, "Well, maybe he isn't that lucky."
Luckiest guy I ever met. Man.
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
He had some set of hands, man.
Oh yeah. He just was. Yeah, who else was like that? Mike Bossy had that in him a little bit too, where he wasn't flying up and down the ice and making all these great moves. Just he knew how to handle the puck and when to shoot.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like Espo said, he scored a lot of 40 mile an hour goals.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in the right spot.
Yeah. Phil, yeah, if you add up all the distance between Phil and the net and the goals he scored, it wasn't very much. He was close to the net. Who else? JD was John Davidson. Trying to think of some other fun guys.
You know, I was talking to my buddy the other day. Tim Kerr holds the record. I'm trying to remember now. I think for the most redirects. I didn't even know they charted that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, what a big man! There's a great video where he was coming around the back of that Madison Square Garden, and I just smoked him, knocked him right out of his rear end. Then I'm thinking, oh god,
why did you? Because Dave Brown's
he's coming. But he was a good guy. He would defend himself and he'd get involved. But yeah, he wasn't one of the regular goons out there, and he was a 50-goal scorer too. So he's a big, solid guy though too. When I dropped him, I was surprised that I dropped him, because I usually
he had to be 230, 235, something like that.
Yeah, it's just solid stuff.
Big dude.
All right, Master of the Universe. Great to see you again.
Yeah, I got a couple things. I got a black hole. That didn't come out right. I have a gamma ray burst I got to take care of.
You're terrible. All right, see you next week.
Later.